Hey y'all, it's Mocha Mima. Welcome to the channel. Um, it's a sad story I'm going to bring to you from out of Georgia. I'm going to play my intro and then come back with my commentary. Hey y'all, it's Mocha Mima. Welcome to my channel. If it's your first time here, an extra special welcome. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. You guys remember to like and subscribe. Click on the bell button for the uploads. Y'all, I have been struggling with this story. I found out about this story last week on TikTok before it really broke nationally, and I really struggle with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the statement from the attorneys, and then I am going to come back with more commentary. But just to give you, there's a trigger warning on this. So if you have experienced a miscarriage or even a demise of a child or a death of one of your children or a child that is close to you, um, you may want to skip this video. I appreciate you being here, but my concern for your mental health is more than that, because I know how I feel about this. So, guys, this is really a hard story. Um, this is about the death of an infant. Like the title says, a dream extinguished. It's just a horrific death of a little baby. So, you know, I'm going to play the video from the attorneys now, and then I'll come back and talk some more about it.
Tell you all about what happened. Okay. On July the 9th, 2023, just a few weeks ago, Jessica and Travion, they were excited. She was 37 weeks pregnant at that time, and they were really, really looking forward to the delivery of their firstborn child. Her water broke at about 10 o'clock in the morning on the 9th. Appropriately, she went over to labor and delivery over to Southern Regional. They admitted her and put her on an IV and gave her some medicine to basically progress the delivery. She labored for about 10 hours, and then probably around 10, or strike that, about 8:40 in the evening, she was fully dilated, and they told her to start pushing. Well, during the course of the pushing, the baby stopped descending. There's something called a shoulder dystocia, fancy word for saying that the baby's shoulders could not fit through the pelvic girdle. It got stuck by the bone there in the pelvic girdle. That was recognized, and what wound up happening after that is just brutal. Dr. St. Julian came in, and she, in the process of trying to deliver this baby, pulled on the baby's head and neck so hard and manipulated them so hard that the bones in the baby's skull, face, and neck were broken. When Dr. St. Julian finally took Miss Ross to the operating room for a C-section, cesarean section, where they cut the belly and deliver the baby through the abdomen, when the womb was open, the feet came out, the body came out, and there was no head. The head was stuck in the vagina, and the head subsequently was delivered vaginally. The baby had been decapitated. Dr. St. Julian was grossly negligent for applying ridiculously excessive force on the baby's head and neck. Dr. St. Julian and the nurses at Southern Regional Medical Center, they were grossly negligent for not getting the help of the on-site in-hospital OB in a timely manner. They have a hospitalist obstetrician who's there on site. And when doctors have problems with delivery, the first thing you do is call them and you get help. You get another perspective, another angle. This was not done in a timely manner, negligently. And then also, the nurses at Southern Regional Medical Center were grossly negligent for failing to advocate and insist in other capacities that Ms. Ross got a C-section quicker, sooner, in a more timely manner. So those are the allegations that we claim in this suit. We just filed it. We're going to be very, very aggressive with the discovery. We're going to put all of these people who were in the room under oath and find out what they have to say specifically about what happened that tragic evening. That is the essence of our suit. That's the essence of the press conference, and we're going to open things up for question right now.
Have you spoken with the hospital? I mean, why do you think they tried to cover this up?
Yeah, we cannot speculate about what the motivations were for the lack of candor, the lack of disclosure, the misrepresentation, and the fraud. We will find out because we're going to put everybody under oath, and they're going to swear, and they're going to tell us what they were thinking. We don't know.
How long did it take Jessica and everyone to learn what happened to their child?
Attorney Lynch, if you would. This is dealing with the fraud and cover-up.
The family went in on the 9th for the delivery of the child. They were not notified of what actually happened until the 13th, a few days later.
And that was from the medical examiner? That wasn't
No, that was from the funeral home.
That was from the funeral.
Yes.
Can you also speak to the fact that they were not allowed to hold their child?
Yes, they were not allowed to hold their child. The hospital basically said, hey, well, we can't let you hold the child. We can, and my understanding is that they at one time did not want them to see the child. But what they did, the hospital wrapped the child up very tightly so that they could not see what actually happened, and they were able to see the child behind the glass.
And let me be more specific. In an attempt to basically misrepresent and miscommunicate to the family, when they wrapped this baby up tightly, they propped the baby's head up on top of the blanket to make it appear as though the head was actually attached when it wasn't.
So they actually saw the baby on the day of the delivery?
The day of the delivery, it's my understanding that same day. So when I say same, they kind of went from the 9th into the 10th. So the stat C-section was called at about close to midnight. The surgery was over at 3 in the morning. The first conversation that Dr. St. Julian had with the couple was at about 5 in the morning, and that's when there was not total candor and disclosure at that time. The records reflect that Dr. St. Julian came in the next day and the next day after with the intention of actually telling the couple the truth. The couple reasonably didn't want to talk to her at that time, and finally, a day after she was discharged, there was a meeting that occurred 4 days after delivery where Dr. St. Julian came clean.
Just for clarity purposes, can you kind of go through the timeline of when the birth happened or the C-section,
Sure.
when they learned their baby did not make it, and then when they learned
Okay.
what actually happened?
And all of this is in the complaint and in the facts, but
And can you step closer to the...
yeah, all of this is in the complaint and it's in the facts, but the water broke at about 10 in the morning. They were admitted into the hospital at L&D at about 10 in the morning, 10, 11 in the morning. The labor continued at about 8:40 in the evening. That's when she was fully dilated and she started pushing. All of the shoulder dystocia and the failure to descend occurred from 8:40 until about midnight. At about 11:49 p.m., after Dr. St. Julian had been manipulating the head and the neck and the like, trying to get this baby delivered, that's when she finally called for the stat C-section. And they took Ms. Ross from the labor delivery suite, which is a separate room. The operating room was just right next door. So they rolled through the doors, and then they proceeded and started with the C-section. The C-section, the baby was delivered at about 12:11. That's what the records show. You could go back to the complaint and just verify. But about 10 minutes after rolling the baby back there, the mother back there, the baby was delivered. Again, half of the baby first, and then the head a couple seconds after that. And then at 5 in the morning, after the surgery was over at 3 in the morning. At 5 in the morning, that's when Dr. St. Julian came in and gave them the misinformation.
Did your clients raise concerns during the delivery about how things were going, and did they feel like they were ignored because of their race?
The answer is, in fact, yes. There's there'll be more evidence developed in this, but my clients asked for a C-section much sooner than it was ever delivered, while the baby was viable.
And I don't know if Jessica or Trayvon are willing to talk about just what the emotional impact has been like.
I can tell you, we've asked them to do that. They've declined at this point. It's just too overwhelming for them. I mean, that was the plan as of yesterday, but when they were sitting in the conference room, they looked at y'all and said, we just can't do it.
Sorry, one more question. Did they feel like insurance or lack of insurance was playing into this at all in the decision not to go for a C-section sooner?
No. All right. My law partner, Keith Lindsay, just has conclusionary remarks.
Thank you, Ron. Thank all of you for coming and attending this most important story. It is as horrific as it sounds. We're happy to email copies of the complaint to each and every one of you. We'll get with our paralegal Alexis for that. And then if you have any questions or requests for interviews, contact Ryan Julison. His number is 321-377-6877. Ryan Julison, and that's Julison at
We all heard it there as to what happened. Now, to let you know who the players are once again, here is Jessica Ross. She's 20 years old. Her boyfriend, partner, Travion Taylor Sr. I don't know his age. I didn't have his age listed anywhere. They didn't have it listed. And that's one of their representatives. The attorney that you saw speaking that gave most of the facts, his name is, he is Dr. Roderick Edmond. He is an attorney and he is a doctor and he's also an attorney. The last person you saw with the lighter blue suit that spoke in the press conference, that is attorney Keith Lindsay. Oh, and the other attorney, I think that's attorney Corey Lynch, that also was there with the darker blue suit. Now you see here Jessica and Travion. Jessica looking cute and pregnant. And I remember those days because I was 20 years old when I was pregnant with my oldest daughter. And this is Dr. Tracy St. Julian, and she is in practice with Premier Women's OBGYN down in Riverside, Georgia. The hospital where Jessica had baby Travion was Southern Regional Medical Center down in Riverside, Georgia. Now they talked about shoulder dystocia. Now shoulder dystocia, according to Cleveland Clinic, is when one or both of the baby shoulders get stuck inside the pelvis during child birth. Now it's a medical emergency. They say babies with this condition are usually born safely, but it can cause serious complications for you and your baby. Then it goes on to talk about the statistics and whatnot. Now, here's a little of I have a similar experience. My middle daughter was very big, and she was delivered by vacuum extraction. So I totally understand what it is to have a big baby. However, when a mother is in, and I'm not a doctor, so don't take this is not medical information. This is my own anecdotal experience, and from me working in the healthcare field for now almost 40 years. When these things happen, a crash C-section or a stat C-section needs to be called earlier than waiting like that. That was waiting too long. And then the hospital, for them not to be honest with the mother up front, for them not to be honest with the father up front for what happened. Like there's allegations of a cover-up going on here. They were not true to the mom. A lot of times when women have when they have cesareans, I never had one. I had all my children natural, but from what I know, the women are partially awake. They may know what's going The block is usually from the shoulders down. That's how they used to do it. I'm not sure how they do it now. Medicine has progressed so much. But for them to not let her know what was going on with her baby, like look at these parents. Look at the look of that mother's face. Like look at Jessica, and I was looking in the report, like there's just a lot of negligence here for the doctor to put and they say here to put all that pressure on the baby's head to the place where when they go to do the section and they pull the baby's body out, trigger warning, pull the baby's body out, and the head is still is still in the vaginal canal. And in the lawsuit they say it was grossly negligently. She Dr. St. Julian, oh God, let me calm down. Jesus, bear. Oh Lord, that she failed to practice according to medical standards. She grossly negligently applied excessive traction on Travion Isaiah Taylor Jr.'s head and neck and grossly negligently failed to do a cesarean section in a timely and proper manner, resulting in Travion Isaiah Jr.'s decapitation and death. Like, could you imagine that? You go in it's one of the happiest times of your life. You go in the hospital to have your baby. To have the baby you felt kicking and everything for months. You're thinking about how you're going to buy them Jordans and how you're going to take little pictures and them going to daycare and kindergarten and going to school and maybe playing basketball or football or maybe playing an instrument and going to prom and going to the little dances they have at school and graduating and then going to college, because all parents think of that, no matter what their socioeconomic status is. Because the first thing people think because they're young, oh, they may have been on a state insurance or whatever. That does not even matter. What matters is there are so many things that fell apart that caused the death of this baby, that caused the death of a young Black baby. Another Black man not born here because of negligence. And this is, in my opinion, negligence from the hospital, the doctors, the nursing staff, everyone that is there. Now, there's been some reports, and there's different people saying, well, and like I said, being working in healthcare, I know how it is when there's a Black doctor and there may be staff members around that are of other colors and everything. No, she's been working in the Atlanta area since 2005. She's an experienced OBGYN doctor. She should know to get another doctor in there to help her, because this is something that does not happen that often. This is an anomaly. It does not happen often where this shoulder dystonia happens. It's not a common occurrence. It happens, but from what is described, for her to twist and turn on this baby's head, and for the head to actually be detached from the body. So during the cesarean section, where they're pulling the baby through the mother's pelvic area into her abdomen, they cut down, open up the uterus, and pull out the baby without a head. I'm so angry, y'all. I'm so angry. Oh, I'm so angry. I'm so angry. Here's a statement from the hospital, from Southern Regional Medical Center. Our heartfelt thoughts and prayers, there to go with those fucking thoughts and prayers, are with the family and all those impacted by this tragic event. Our prayers also remain with the dedicated team of physicians, nurses, and staff on the Southern Regional Medical Center who care for this patient. as our deepest sympathies remain with the family. Southern Regional Medical Center denies allegations of wrongdoing in the complaint referencing the hospital. Due to patient privacy laws and HIPAA, we are unable to discuss the care and treatment of specific patients, but we can state this unfortunate infant death occurred in utero prior to the delivery and decapitation. Are you freaking kidding me? The hospital voluntarily reported the death to the Clayton County Medical Examiner's Office and is cooperating with all investigations. Since this matter is in litigation, we cannot provide additional statements. Dr. St. Julian is not and never has been an employee of the hospital. Our commitment is to provide compassionate. Oh, no, I'm reading it over here and didn't put it up here for you guys. Hold on. I'm reading to you at one place and myself from another place. I apologize. It's just I'm so angry and so upset. Mm. Our commitment is to provide compassionate and quality care to every single patient. This loss is heartbreaking for all involved. And I'm going to leave that statement up there. They have the nerve to put that up there when that woman's baby came out of her uterus with no head. The head had to be delivered vaginally. They did not tell her. They would not allow her to see her baby, would not allow her to touch her baby. Told her that when they finally acquiesced to let her see her baby, she saw her baby behind a glass where someone took her baby, wrapped her baby up, and propped the baby's head on top of a body and had it wrapped up so tight that it looked like the head was still attached. And when the baby got to the funeral home, that's when the funeral home told the parents that the baby was decapitated. Now let that sit and marinate for a minute. And if y'all think y'all hear anger and stuff in my voice, it's because that's what's going on right now. How dare they do that to that mother, to that family, to that baby? Y'all, this world, God. Oh my God, y'all. Oh my God. And y'all, some of y'all may know that I that I perform weddings. So I'm not an overly religious person. I'm spiritual. I don't go to church and whatnot, but I'm just like, oh God. I just Psalm 46, first verse reads, God is our refuge and our strength, always ready to help in times of trouble. God, God, thank you that you promised to be our refuge, our safe place, our protector, and our shelter when we are battling through the storm. I pray that you provide shelter for these parents and this family that had to say they didn't even get a chance really to say goodbye to their child. Help to surround them with your love during this time. Give them peace so that they know that you have not abandoned them. Give them the strength to take one day at a time, one moment at a time, 1 minute at a time. Ooh, y'all. Ooh, 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 ooh. Look at these parents one time, these young parents. Mm, mm, Y'all, this is I will keep you posted as I hear what goes on in this story. Y'all, please make sure you like and subscribe. Pray, please pray for this family. Pray for these parents. Mm, mm, mm. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for being here. Whew. Mm, mm, mm.